Welcome back to Car Wax, where we're back to our music review with our second part of our collaborations. So, from Atlanta to New York. So, what's it, Beloved, the Daves. So Dave East keeps showing up on a lot of different people, and he's almost like sharpening his sword. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the more he gets out there, like, oh, I'm gonna be with Snoop. Oh, I'm gonna be with this guy. Oh, I'm gonna be with. He's like sharpening his skills, and he's kind of letting you know, this is how I am. Whenever I show up, I'm gonna fucking lay shit down, and I'm just sharpening. And his appearances has been great. I don't think he had a bad appearance on anything after his last release. He's just blowing it up for me, so I kind of look forward to it. And then Styles did a decent release with what was that, Talib Kweli? Seven. So I thought that was really decent. It was good to hear him back, and I was kind of like, yeah, 7, good collab. Nothing really great, but I was glad to hear him again. So when I heard this, I was kind of like, yeah, okay, let me go through it. But I want to hear your thoughts, because again, I grew up with New York, and I know the sound, and I know the griminess, and I know what's going on, and I know what they put out there. But how do you see this?
Okay, so I popped the prize. So I was ready to listen to it. I was like, ooh, Dave East and Styles P. This is going to be scrumptious. Yes. Can't wait. But again, this was the time where I think Wayne or something else came out on the 5th, man. I can't remember what came out on the 5th, but it was so much music that came out. It was like, all right, I'll listen to it in a second. Mm-hmm. So I pop it in, and I did the same thing I did with the Lil Baby and them CD. I listened to the first 3 tracks and I turned it off. I was like, this ain't what I want to hear. Cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Put the Wayne back on.
Right.
I was like, hey, Wayne took over, man, for like a good week and a half, man. Wayne was like, nah, you don't want to listen to nothing else. You want to listen to this right now. So I had to find the environment to listen into it. That wasn't, so basically saying, Beloved isn't the South sound that you could just pop in anywhere and just, ride to.
Not at all.
Isn't, now listen to what I said, isn't the South sound. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of rappers that be like, oh man, I ain't with that New York shit. Well, they're not even rappers. There's just a lot of people from Atlanta. They be like, man, I don't fuck with that New York shit. That's what they say. Right. Quote unquote. I don't fuck with that New York shit. So it's like, all right, so after you listen to a lot of Atlanta shit and then you're listening to that real New York sound, oh man, everything sounds different. You're like, what the hell is this? So right. Again, when you're in, you gotta get your mind ready for that up north sound, that up north feel, that up north flow, all that shit. And Styles gives you that shit to the core, mm-hmm. And that's why I like Styles, man, because he's always been solid to his sound. He's always been solid to who he is. He's mm-hmm. never changed. Money's never changed that man. He got like 2 or 3. No, I think he got 3 juice bars. He's on TV doing the Black Love thing with his old lady. Like he is solid to who he is, man. And I give him the utmost credit. On this album, he stood out to me. Okay. He really was like, come on, keep up, young blood. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed Styles. This was a Styles album, or this was a Styles project to me. Now, Dave East, initially listening to it, it sounded like, damn, yeah, Dave East is liking this. This is something new for Dave. You know, when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is something new for him. But it didn't sound too much different. You know, and then after doing some research, come to find out, Styles doesn't write none of his rhymes when he's in the studio.
Nope.
And
Yep.
Dave East does. So when he was in the studio with Styles, he didn't write anything. You know, he was just in there doing it. So if you did hear a difference, that was the difference. You know, he was able to kind of project what he was feeling off the top of his head, and it was just going a lot smoother. It was just, he was able to just deliver it better. You know, so I did hear a different Dave East through this whole album, but it was the sound, so to speak, that really was like, did they have to do it like that? Because when you listen to the Talib Kweli, you know, you got, well, you know what? Now I'm thinking of Styles P. When you listen to the Talib Kweli, you don't hear that grungy sound. You hear that underground sound. But that's what Talib Kweli is. You know what I'm saying? He's an underground rapper.
Right.
When you listen to Dave East, he's a Harlem rapper. Now, all his music don't sound like that, what we're listening to on this project, but it is like, it is that New York rap.
Yeah.
It's that new school New York rap. But this one, it kind of equalized it. It kind of just brought it back to the newest era, but with the taste, it brought it back to the old era with the taste of the new era. So basically what I'm saying is, this was a Styles P project.
Okay. That's different perspective. There's some things I agree with you on that, but I'm going to go back and almost flip it on you because, because I kind of read the deal with him and Styles P, and they made a decision to say, I'm not going to let this nigga outdo me. So this is what I'm going to come with. So they both did almost, I heard him, but shit, I'm going to go from that. So with Dave East, I like him because he's more intricate with a lot of the way he raps. So you can tell that he's writing. You know what I mean? He got like clever ways he flips some things, and that has to have thought. A lot of times, a lot of people can't come up off the top of their head doing that unless you're really, really good. But he's good enough to play into his stories and be intricate with his shit. So I really enjoy that. Whereby Styles is just flowing. And it's just flowing for what he sees and what he knows. So that's not exciting. That's just cool. Tell that shit that you see and you like, damn, that's that raw shit. Got you. But when Dave East does it, he's more intricate. And what I hated about this album was the production. Because I've heard them on different production. And that's where I agree with you. I heard them on different production and they did so well on outside of what they gave them. And it ruined it for me. The production, because they wanted the New York, let's go back to that, like we did with when we just talked about the Wu-Tang. You don't have to have the same shit, dude. There's so many great producers that's out there that can give you things. You don't have to go back old school. But I think because you said this was a Styles album, he said, this is what I flow like. So if I flow this way, this is the kind of beats that I'm used to doing. And Dave, you got to follow suit on this. And Dave was like, I can do this shit. Because, yo, nigga, you go with yours, I go with mine. And I'm like, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what they were saying was in the studio that it was kind of like Dave East was just happy to be there type of deal.
Yeah. He was like, wow, this is something different. You know what I mean?
Well, more on the side of, this is one of my favorite rappers. I love Styles P. I love the way he raps. I used to look up, the Locks is one of the biggest ever art. groups to come out of New York if
Mm-hmm.
New York was telling you about it. You know what I'm saying? Leave it up to New York. The Lox is probably the best group ever. You know what I'm saying? So, Davies really loves Styles P. So I'm assuming him going in the studio, it wasn't like, all right, I got these. I got these. What you got? You know what I'm saying? It was more like, okay, I got these, and it was like, all right, let's go. Like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
you
But
know what I'm saying?
it was out of respect though. It wasn't out
Right.
of I'm just gonna do this nigga. Cause you're like, yeah, he said that, and he said Styles and Nas was the only two guys that actually talked to me and helped me. You know what I mean? And I like that. But I still think, in my opinion, East held it down a lot better because I would listen to him. And it could have been the production because I'm telling you,
Okay.
it was hard for me to continue to listen to it with this production that just fucked me up, man. I was upset by that because once you say, hey, check this out, I was like, damn, okay, let's see what the fuck is up. And you got these cats on here that I'm kind of like, oh man, let me hear the next one then, because this is that, yeah, I got that gritty, grimy, but I like that in your rap, but I don't, that music just, come on, you can do better. And it went throughout the whole album, man, and it made me uncomfortable. It made me dislike the whole thing because I tried too hard to listen to them because of the bad production. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the lyricism on this album was awesome.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that you said that Styles P and Nas was the only ones that looked up to him, because look at Styles P's flow and his career, and look at Nas' flow and his career.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same way. You know what I'm saying? Hard lyricists. You can't really remember their production. Okay, that's a lot of disrespect to Swiss Beats, because Swiss Beats was part of the Lox and Rough Riders. You know what I'm saying? When Rough Riders was out, Swiss Beats was running that, and they had some real good beats.
Yeah, that was real good beats. So that's why I'm saying these guys have rapped over good beats. I don't know why they made the selection of these guys. I don't know.
Well, they made these tracks in 19 days. I mean, I'm sorry. They said it took 19 days to make these 14 tracks.
They should have took 21.
I
think they needed a little more time because some of these, well, honestly, if 19 days, they took a set of fucking beats and went with that. I think they should have had some more development and said, what can we both go with? But if they wanted specific people, okay, I got you. But is that really good for y'all?
Wow. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
We're actually comparing this the same way as we compared to Drip Harder. We're comparing it different because this is more of a veteran. These are more experienced, seasoned artists.
Yes, absolutely. So you should expect more from them. You know what I mean? You should. So now let me give you this too, because it was funny. I threw on Black Thoughts. That
the EP from earlier this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
That shit is fucking. That dude is awesome. Because I stopped and said, man, he could have done better than that. He didn't have to do better. If you really listen, that shit is fucking awesome. This dude flipped some shit on there that it was kind of like, oh my God, this is why I loved him. Wow. Because I think I started listening to other people and then went back to it and go, no, this dude is fucking pretty awesome.
Right.
But with these guys, you still expect more from them. And even though East is new, he's just better. He's a better guy. He's not a producer. He's a good rapper. So I think he deserves better. I think he deserves better production because he done his job. I think even Styles P, he done his job. The job that wasn't done was the production. It had nothing to do with their lyricism, their flow, their storytelling. That was all checks. You got 3 checks on all of that shit.
So do you feel like they should have just had a little more thought put into this project?
I'm not sure what they wanted. So they probably said, let's give them the street. So the beats has to be as grimy as what we're talking about. But it doesn't have to be that grimy. It just has to be good. You know what I'm saying? Right. Remember we said fun and good? Nah, this shit, the beats wasn't even fun, dude. This shit, it's too many good producers out there that could have made this like one of the go-to albums that you want to hear outside of just them being lyrically great. And it's hard for me to put it back on. And that's disappointing for me because music is music. And again, you remember we said the same thing about Jay-Z. Remember with the Jay-Z album? Jay-Z was fantastic of what he was trying to say, but the production was just fucking garbage. Mm-hmm. Now, this wasn't garbage. It just didn't match. It just fucking didn't match to me.
Now, are you popping in the Drip harder before you pop in this Beloved?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, I just about to be honest, man. And Drip Harder probably wasn't as lyrically as good, but I can't keep listening to this if I don't feel, the
vibe.
The vibe, yeah. I have to listen harder just to listen to them because I know I love their storytelling and how they did some stuff. But that means I got to pay more attention. I just can't ride with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And normally that's what I'm doing. I'm riding with shit.
Exactly. Oh man, that is crazy. It's just, again, it's crazy how I digest music these days.
Yeah.
You know, to where you have 2 of the best lyricists coming out of New York right now. And you're like, and if you're not up north and in that vibe of that scenery and that theme and those type of people, you're really like, it's all right.
It's okay.
You know, and then everybody looking at you from New York like, nigga, is you crazy? This is the hottest shit out right now.
That's fire, bitch. That's fucking fire. Yep.
Now, you know who I would say would make an awesome collaboration together?
What's that?
There's an artist by the name of Don Q and Dave East. Don Q and Dave East will make a tremendous project together. Okay. Don Q just put out a mixtape called Don Season. If you get an opportunity, check that out and let me know how you like that. Because he's out of New York. But he a little bit different. He gives you a different sound. He gives you the same talk, but he gives you a different type of production.
Okay.
But I think Don Q and Dave East, those are 2 newer artists, and I think soon as they get a chance to sit down and get in the studio, they need to drop something together, man. Because that would sound tremendous.
Don Q.
Don Q.
Okay.
But yeah, not getting too far away from this album, man. I understand. I believe that it is coming out of the South, man, and just always being hot and it's just the feel out here, man. It projects into the music. And if you're listening to that cold, grimy stuff, you're probably only listening to it probably 2 months out of the year.
Yeah, but that's stereotyping the New York beats that's coming out of it because it's not all that way. Sadly, it's not all that way. And that's what bothers me because I'm going to tell you what I did because I keep hearing just the same old shit. So I went. And after I heard them, that's why I gave you that Razcast, that Freestyle Files. And them motherfuckers phenomenal. I love him. So I just wanted to hear some old shit from him. And I was like, man, this dude is just amazing. But what I did is I started listening to a couple of like off producers. Like DJ Crush is actually, and he's Japanese. He's doing a revised alternative hip hop beats, and he's trying some trap beat with what he does. And then Dabri is another one from out of Detroit, of how he changed his beats, because I wanted to hear production. I can't keep hearing the same shit, man, and it fucks me up because everybody's trying to match what somebody else is doing because everybody likes it. Right. And I'm kind of like, just because you like that, that's just the wrong shit to do. You know what I mean? So I start going and just doing things kind of differently, and even the South beats isn't necessarily the same way too, because you have so many different people. I mean, the J. Cole and his group, his label, they doing shit differently. They sounding differently. So you're gonna have to deal with all of that different shit. We listening to some West Coast type of music, and then Travis Scott come out and just fucks everybody up because he's just that creative. And again, the ASAP Rocky, you got people from areas that's different from what everybody else is doing. Why does great lyricist has to say this is what the street want, and even though I'm talking street and I'm that great, I'm gonna give the same kind of beat to match me? You don't have to do that. Ghostface does that. He has so many different kind of shit that he has, but he can flow on anything.
Yeah,
but he give you that grime, which you gotta respect. But he's fucking lyrical too. So that's what I've been doing, because I'm just somewhat tired of a lot of this same production. I'm just tired of it.
Now, I will say, since we're on the Beloved, I will say that Ghostface Killer does have a new mixtape out. It's not even a mix. Well, it's probably a mixtape, but it's called The Lost Tape.
Yeah, I didn't get to that one, and I wanted to get to it.
That shit is fire. Look, this is coming from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't even gonna front to you. I did like Ghostface back in the day too.
Oh yeah.
But as the generations are changing of music and everything, I popped that in today and listening to that Lost Tape. That shit is a quality body of work. That shit sounds good, and it still does give you that New York feel, but it's different, man. That shit is nice. I'm about to pop that in again now that you spoke of that, man. But that's a good body of work when you get an opportunity to listen to that Ghostface Killer.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna do it now, because there was so many that you was giving me, and then I had to digest some shit, because as we doing some of these reviews, some of them you have to digest. When you put that on and you digest it and you kind of taking it like, should I listen to some more, or is my first thoughts the right thing? But you told me, dude, you gotta take it in, because if you don't take it in and use your perspective, because what you do, you got a good way of using perspective to what you're listening to. Because you were saying, like, for example, this is some club shit. You can hate the club, because your ass don't go, don't mean it ain't some club shit.
Right.
So is it a good club song? Yeah. Then take it at that. Gotcha. So this nigga just talks about the street. What else do you want from him? Yeah, but I'm not. No, but is it good about the streets? Is he really telling you and showing you this? Yeah, take it for what it is. These are the perspective things that now I kind of slow down and say, when you're reviewing, you have to respect the music, the person's perspective. And that's why this Beloved is perspective-wise. If I didn't take perspective, I would have said, man, this is a trash album, man. They didn't do a good job with this shit. And I would have left it at that. But I can't, because these guys were that good, but their production was so fucked up. They was they didn't need to have this production on it. And it would have been better.
Now I'm very interested. Now I'm very interested, because I'm interested on how you're going to rate this, because you rated the Drip Harder very low, but you enjoyed the production on it. So with this one, it sounds like the production was terrible, but you enjoyed the lyricism on it.
So I would absolutely rate this as a 7.25. And the production, if I would recommend it with anyone, some people don't look at production the way I would. Some people are just definitely saying, I'm a Locks fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people say, I'm a Dave East fan. So they overlooking that, listen to this, the way they put this together was just not good for them overall. But I still got my man. So they're going to look at my man. And if I just look at it and say, you know, we even said it with Jay-Z. If that motherfucker just had an acapella album, wow, thank you, fucking, or an ebook, and he fucking just reading it, you would say, damn, what some great fucking stories that these dudes, wow, outstanding stories. And you would respect it as that at a higher level.
Right.
So me, a 725 is, I'm going to have to try it again. I didn't put it back on because I couldn't ride with it, but I got to try it again because there was so much that they were saying on there and the storytelling that I really enjoyed. And I kind of have to grin and bear it, but I'm not sure how long would I keep putting it on or how long would I listen to the complete album. You know what I mean? So It's going to be limited for me, but it has to be respected because they did a good job as two lyricists and rappers on this goddamn release.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, after you gave me that insight, because I rated it high, but you're absolutely right. Like, being honest with you, the hooks were very fair. Like, oh man, they could have put some more effort into the hooks.
Mm-hmm.
The production was very one-sided, narrow-sided. It wasn't really for a bigger audience. They were only looking for a specific audience for this.
Yeah.
But the lyricism was good. Mm-hmm. I popped it back in on my way back home, and I wasn't impressed, so to speak. Like again, the production really didn't fulfill its job.
Yep.
So I would honestly have to give it a 7. It was a rushed product. It should have definitely have more time into it.
Agreed.
You should have definitely had a couple of more producers or track options on this. And you should have definitely figured out, knowing damn well y'all motherfuckers ain't great at hooks. Y'all should have figured something out on the hook side of the game. You know what I'm saying? So,
but rushed is the word that is I think you pointed that out. And I think a project that's rushed, you don't sit and evaluate your own production. So I think that's the Achilles heel to this whole release, being rushed. They thought they had a good product and they put it out there. Except for saying, we got a good product, now let's sit down and evaluate it. Damn, man, we should have put a better hook in that. Or, you know what? The sound the same all throughout this motherfucker. Maybe we should. I don't think they evaluated it.
But again, to your point, why would they evaluate it if they just freestyling all the way through? They not putting no time into it.
True.
And then here's the other catch. When you listen to all of Dave East stuff, yeah, he takes a little time. And he puts a lot of bass in his shit.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
He has a mixture of north-south beat when he puts out there. But it's not really a north beat. It's just a beat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, damn, that's a fire-ass beat. Damn, Dave, he's snapping on it. It's not like, oh, yeah, this is that hoodie season, straight out of Harlem, see what I'm saying? No, he's just like, this is a hard-ass beat. And that wasn't this album. If they choose to do it again, I believe that Davies has to take the lead.
Yeah.
And has to be like, hey, legend, hey, God, I want you to let's do another one before, you fade away and retire, but let me conduct this one.
Oh, come to my place. You see what I'm saying? So I think East came to his, so he had the lead on everything. So whoever's fucking with East, have Styles come there. And I think you'll see a whole different sound and maybe an arrangement pretty different. Because
Right.
back to your point with, I'm glad you brought that back up too with Talib. That's underground. So he's kind of like, nah, this is the shit that we're going to be rapping over, dude. And that shit sound pretty amazing. You know what I mean? But if you just dismiss that because it's for a targeted audience, that's not fair. This shit is going across the world, dude. That's not fair. People may like that, but everybody eats more than just meat on your plate. Or you vegan, dude, you have something else other than the broccoli. There's other shit, man. Don't just keep feeding motherfuckers broccoli because that's the hottest shit that everybody say. The one vegetable I'm going to eat is always going to be broccoli. Dude, get some cauliflower mash on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Something. And that's what I think he didn't do. It's kind of like I'm feeding it to a targeted audience. And I'm glad you said it in that way because I didn't think about it until you said, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. And he said, but I'm just going to bring you into the targeted audience, Dave. You know what I mean? Right. Except for saying, let's do this together. He was kind of like, I'm leading this, but I'm bringing the young boys to hand it off to, but it's going to be done my way. And East was like, look, it's a privilege being here. So I'm going to do my thing to make sure that, I don't look like I'm this, young rapper being like, oh yeah, show me the way. It's like, nah, I'm going to put my in. I'm going to go in the way I should as a rapper. But that was a really good point too. The targeted audience shit, that's exactly what it sound like.
Now, did you see the Shop show with LeBron and Drake?
Nah, I want to talk about that on another show. Okay. I really want to. I want to throw that in probably with another review. You know what I'm saying? Even if we just probably do the Quavo, we could do the Quavo / Drake LeBron.
T.I.
Oh, T.I. Yeah, the T.I.
Yeah, we got to do the Don Trap.
Yep.
But the reason why I brought that up is because Dave East and the Styles P was on Hot 97, and they felt like one of the statements that Drake made, they had they felt some type of way about it, so they wanted to comment on it. Ooh. So, but if we're getting into it, I can definitely wait to play the audio when we're ready to, talk about it.
Gotcha. Nah, yeah, I would like that. Wow, they felt some kind of way on that shit.
Yeah, it was just like, why is you talking to us down here, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, my nigga, how is you telling us what to do? You know what I'm saying? We respect everything that you want, my nigga. You make the best shit, but don't come down here trying to make rules on us for us. So like I said, we'll get into it a little more and we'll talk about it a little more. But
all right, that's what's up.
It was a legitimate statement that he made. Like, it's like, the rich trying to tell the poor what to do. You know what I'm saying? All because you quote unquote call what you call we call eating what you call eating, but we eat different. You know what I'm saying? So and nigga, you got 4 ways to eat. I don't even have silverware. Now you trying to tell me I need to have a napkin on my neck. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey man, don't come down here trying to make some fucking rules about how shit go. I respect everything you do, but don't come down here talking crazy, motherfucker. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Right, so that's kind of how it was. And I was just like, all right, I feel you.
Yeah, let me check it out. That'll be interesting. That shit'll be interesting.
And some special words. LeBron called himself a hip hop historian, and Drake used the words, I know a lot of hip hop purists. So I've been trying to analyze those 2 words. I'm a Libra though, so I dissect a lot of things. But LeBron calls himself a hip hop historian. I think that was just kind of thrown out there. What is an historian and what is actually a hip hop historian? And can you be a hip hop historian just sitting in the back of your Maybach, goddamn, giving out new music when it comes out?
Right.
And a hip hop purist, he said, I understand how hip hop purists will see certain things and blah, blah, blah. Would I call myself a hip hop purist? And what is a purist? You know what I'm saying?
A
I'm gonna get into that.
purist, yeah. So that's interesting. That's something we could talk about because I like that because I was a purist at a time, but you got me out of it. You follow me?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's hip hop purist is if you really want to see a hip hop purist, just follow KRS-One.
Okay.
And then you can see where that, and he's changed some of his way of being a purist because he recognized music and he recognized hip hop now. But he was definitely a purist for a while, and he went after everybody who didn't respect it on that level. So, which made it interesting, and I was kind of living that as well.
Okay.
So, but a historian to me is just a person who just goes back and study because a historian don't know shit. They just study it. They can spit out that shit. They haven't lived it. That's what a purist does. But a historian pretty much studies it.
Okay.
So we can have that conversation. We probably need Animal on that bitch.
Yeah, that'd be a real good one.
Yeah. So they had a round table of that and his boy on there because I would really love to hear what people how they break that one down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's interesting, and now I got to really see that because that's interesting.
Yeah, man. Everybody only watched the surface of it. And the surface of it I already gave you the rundown about. Mm-hmm. It just came out of his mouth. So when you hear it from his mouth, it's just
like what, nigga?
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, my nigga, that's pretty. I already heard all of that. That's pretty accurate. So when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, this is the exact shit Sean was telling me about.
Yep.
But he's giving it to me verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
So that part, I guess that was the shock value initially, but after you get that initial part out, I was looking at it like, okay, all right, because I do this now. You know what I'm saying? This is my job now. I'm a little more than a historian. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm evolved from a purist, which is you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in it, nigga. I don't need to study it, nigga. We're in it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga. Fucking hip hop is but 10 years older than me.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So So I'm all the way in it. I'm watching the change. I'm watching the internet. I'm watching mobile shit and everything interact with it. I'm watching the world interact with hip hop. Mm-hmm. I'm watching people call hip hop something that's being thrown away that will never be in the next 10 years. And I'm watching the whole world run from it. Hip hop is the engine of this of the industry. Hip hop is the industry. Hip hop is the engine of this entertainment business.
Like it or not.
So, man, that's who I am, man. I look at it as a whole. I don't look at it as just a piece of history. I look at it as a now, as a being, as an entity within itself. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's not
dead. Hip hop is not dead. So if you're studying the history of, you can see how it started and where it originated from and who are the originators, but everything evolves. Mm-hmm. And if you don't embrace things that evolve, you're gonna be left. And then you become the purist because you're trying to hold on to some stuff that actually evolved from it, and you don't want it to evolve. That's what the problem with purists. They want to hold on to as long as possible. They want to hold on to vinyl and say, I'll never download. Well, I got this now, but I didn't really want to go to this, but I can't download. And then they was like, look, I ain't got no choice. Yeah, but you was a fucking purist a year or two ago, but now you in it because it evolves. Yep. There's no way you can still hold on to your vinyl. No one can say don't do that. But if you really want to get into what hip hop has evolved to, you can't get everything on vinyl. You can't.
Not at all.
And motherfuckers ain't doing goddamn this no more. It's either vinyl for collector's items or you fucking streaming or downloading that shit. Come on, wake up. That shit is over with. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a good one, man. Nice way to end that shit. But yeah, I would like to, the On Deck podcast. If we can get old boys on here, we can do a collab on that. I would love to discuss purists as opposed to historian, because people have different perspectives in that way. And, you know, where do you stand in that? Or do you want to actually put fan into that motherfucker? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because a fan has really no ties to any of that shit. They just love the music, just like a lot of white kids. They're fans. They're not going to be historians. They're not going to be fucking purists. They're just a fan of saying, that makes me look cool. Or
right.
I love this type of sound, so I'm a fan of it. That's all you are. That's all you're going to be. Because whatever the next thing comes out, you're probably going to jump on that bitch too. Yeah. but that's what's up. Anywho, any closeout, dude?
Nah, that's about it, man. Like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of people sneaking in their projects in the third quarter, man. It's been a lot of stuff that just came out. If you get some time, go ahead and check out that Reason. There you have it. That came out the same week the Lil Wayne came out. So it didn't really get a lot of promotion that it should have got because of Wayne.
Right.
But that's the same thing that happened with J-Rock. When J-Rock's album came out, J-Rock album came out the same time the Carters came out. So it didn't, the push on it wasn't as big as it should have. So a lot of people slept on that album. That was a pretty decent album. The Quavo album came out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of mixed reviews on that. I can't wait for you to hear that. The Dime Trap, man. I want you to definitely check out that T.I. Dime Trap, man. That is I enjoyed that. But it took me a couple times to actually respect what he did on it.
Really?
Yeah, man. Because I wanted the old T.I., man. When you say Dime Trap, man, I'm thinking of something else.
Okay.
And he definitely didn't give you the trap music Dime Trap. That's what trap music was, his album that came out back in the day.
Mm-hmm. So
when you say Dime Trap, that's what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of trap music, and he didn't do that. It was actually better, and it was actually for who he is, the age he is, the point that he is in his life. It was a good album.
Okay.
It was like, man, taking everything into consideration. This isn't just music. This is T.I. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the king. So it's not like you're just popping it in and like, yeah. It's not one of those albums anymore. T.I. has grown from that.
Gotcha.
And the music still sounds good. But you gotta respect that part. If you don't respect that part, you're gonna be like, this shit is trash. What the fuck is this, man? T.I., what are you doing? You gotta respect the fact that he's a grown-ass man. And he got 6 kids, I think. So he got a bunch of fucking kids.
Yep.
But he got a bunch of fucking kids, and he keeps getting caught fucking around on his wife. You know what I'm saying? And
because he got a fucking reality show, man. He's in a fucking reality show. What the fuck?
Yeah, dog. So, shit, man. He's the king, bruh. So for me, I had to take all of that into consideration. And because we're so used to just listening to music. When you finally hear somebody that's been out, you're like, okay, what you got? And it's like, oh, hold up. This is T.I. This ain't just Future.
This just ain't anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't just Young Thug. They just ain't throwing shit out. This is a real artist here. Let me take my time and listen to this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. So that's all I got.
Okay, that's what's up. So that it's good to kind of have expectations, but I pull back from having expectations because I found that when I have big expectation, I either get disappointed or I get what I expect. So I said, so let me just pull back and say, when I put it on, it'll be a blank slate, and I'll just look forward to that. But sometimes it's people you waiting for. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you kind of like, okay. Then you be like, what the fuck? And then you got to digest and say, look, you had too much expectations through this shit. So, because like, again, when the expectation with, who was that last year? When he did he got the kamikaze Eminem last year, we had high expectation and got fucking dropped on our face. So when you said, well, he got another one, so the expectation was like, okay, what the fuck is he doing now? And you'd be like, oh shit, this is what I wanted. So, let's just keep it blank. But yeah, well, that's what's up though. But anywho, car wax on Sundays. We're gonna keep it kind of consistent as possible. Really love the love you've been showing, especially overseas. Getting a lot of overseas downloads, and you're really checking out the Lil Wayne and the Lupe, and that jumped up really quickly. And so really appreciate the downloads. And that was just too many for y'all to thank. But keep on. Keep your eyes out. We're going to keep it going. We're going to try to keep it as consistent as possible. And Sean really puts his things out on Instagram. Bougie Brother Sean.
Yeah.
So continue to follow that, because it's going to highlight a lot of things either we review or some things that we don't, that will keep your palate kind of fresh in between there. So keep your eyes out. But we really appreciate those downloads. And on iTunes, keep those comments and likes, and a couple of comments on actual YouTube. So we got a couple of follows on there and people liking those. I'm going to have to slow down with a lot of the music interludes on the back because they fucking taking them off.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. But you can get them on podcasts. You're just not going to get them on YouTube. So,
right.
But it's all good. But anywho, appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next time on Peace.